St. John's Children's Hospital. St. John's Hospital is honored to host once again the Child Abuse Prevention Month kickoff. We join with Prevent Child Abuse Illinois, the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, and the Springfield Mayor's Office to highlight the importance of awareness and recognition as powerful tools in preventing child abuse and neglect. We recognize today and every day we are stronger together. Together we have built resilience in our homes, in our organizations, and in our communities. Today, we commit to continue bringing awareness of resources available to children experiencing abuse and neglect. And we commit to partnering with others to better equip every person to be a voice for identifying and reporting abuse and neglect. A child's only job should be to learn, grow, and fully develop into their very best and happiest person they can be. Our collective job is to do everything we can to give them a safe and healthy start to life. Thank you for joining us today to shine a light on the reality of child abuse and to recognize the role we all play in keeping kids safe and thriving. It is my honor to now read the State of Illinois Proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas every child deserves to grow up in a nurturing environment, free from abuse, neglect, violence, or endangerment of any kind, and whereas child abuse and neglect causes serious harm to child development and has lifelong effects that endanger safety, hinder permanency in relationships, and reduce well-being, creating greater demands on society, and whereas child abuse prevention is a shared responsibility, and finding solution requires the involvement and collaboration of citizens, organizations, and government entities throughout Illinois and the country. And whereas Illinoisans make more than 250,000 calls to the Illinois Child Abuse Hotline each year, offer temporary safe haven for more than 20,000 children as foster families, and have provided permanent, loving homes for more than 17,000 children through adoption over the last decade. And whereas child abuse prevention programs in Illinois are effective because partnerships created by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, Prevent Child Abuse Illinois, Brightpoint, Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois and other government entities, social service agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, businesses, and individual citizens. And therefore, I, J.B. Pritzker, Governor of the State of Illinois, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Illinois and encourage all citizens to respond to the call, "How will you help?" by supporting child abuse prevention programs and reporting suspected cases of abuse to the Illinois DCFS Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-25-ABUSE. Now, it is my pleasure to invite Tara Winters, Executive Director of Prevent Child Abuse Illinois.
Good morning. We come together today to announce and recognize April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Child Abuse Prevention Month has been observed each April since its first presidential proclamation in 1983. Across the country, thousands of individuals and organizations will be holding media conferences, sponsoring community events, hosting family activities, tying blue ribbons, planting pinwheels, and using the color blue to raise awareness that all children deserve to grow in safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments. One powerful symbol that resonates with all of us during April is the pinwheel. The pinwheel, with its vibrant colors and spinning motion, serves as a beacon of hope and innocence, representing the joyful childhood every child deserves. Each pinwheel planted is a pledge to create a safe and nurturing environment where all children can flourish. Prevent Child Abuse Illinois is proud to be part of this national effort. This year's theme is Building Together, Prevention and Partnership. Child abuse and neglect prevention happens in partnership. We are proud to work alongside partner organizations and communities throughout Illinois to raise awareness, build and promote effective services, and strengthen families. As adults, it is our responsibility to protect children. It is our responsibility to raise awareness that child abuse, including child sexual abuse, happens in every community. It is our responsibility to talk about how it happens, who's at risk, and who's doing the abusing. We must be willing to have difficult and uncomfortable conversations about preventing child abuse and neglect and be part of the solution. It is also our responsibility to create positive experiences for children, build protective factors that strengthen families, and advocate for and promote programs that put children first, such as home visiting, early intervention, and preschool and after-school programs. Child abuse and neglect is preventable. We are all an integral part of primary prevention, which means preventing abuse and neglect before it occurs. There are proven ways we can strengthen families so that all children can thrive and stop abuse happening in the first place. So what does prevention look like? Prevention is ensuring families have the resources they need when they need them. Prevention is helping parents learn to be resilient so that they have the ability and confidence to deal with setbacks during challenging times or in a time of crisis. Prevention is helping families build and maintain strong social connections. When parents feel connected to their family, friends, and community, they feel a sense of belonging and comfort knowing others are there to support them during the good times and the bad times. Prevention is supporting the development of children's social and emotional needs. Prevention is promoting parenting education and informing and information about child development. By doing this, we can help bridge the gap between stressed or frustrated adults and the children in their care. Prevention is strengthening parent-child relationships. And prevention is being a stable, caring, and consistent adult in a child's life. The most critical protective factor for a child is having a strong, positive, and nurturing relationship with at least one competent and caring adult. That is what prevention looks like. The more we can show how simple actions prevent child abuse and neglect, the more we start to see ourselves in prevention. Whether it is a policy that impacts the entire country or the act of a single person, we all have a role to play in building bright and safe futures for children. Prevent Child Abuse Illinois is so grateful for our partners and for everyone working to prevent child abuse and neglect. We cannot do this work alone because prevention only happens in partnership. When we work together, we can prioritize the health and well-being of every child. We all have a vested interest in ensuring that other children, not just our own, grow up in an environment where they feel safe, important, and loved. Together, we can build happy, healthy childhoods for all children throughout Illinois. It is my pleasure to introduce Maria Miller with DCFS.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you today. On behalf of DCFS, I would like to thank Prevent Child Abuse Illinois, HSHS St. John's Hospital, Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher, our private agency partners, community leaders, including my colleagues at DCFS, for all the work they do for Illinois children and families. I also want to thank Governor Pritzker and the General Assembly for the funding they continue to provide that directly benefits child abuse prevention programs. This year is an important milestone for DCFS. We are celebrating 60 years of service to Illinois children and families. Our core mission today is the same as it was on day one: to protect children who are reported to be abused and neglected, and to help strengthen and support families with a wide range of services to meet their individual, unique needs. This year, Child Abuse Prevention Month theme, Building Together, Prevention and Partnership, goes hand in hand with our mission. Last year, we received 231,500 calls to our hotline, which is the very important front door of our department. But what happens to the family once they come to our attention is equally as important. And ensuring that they are strong, their children are safer because of our involvement, is a job that we cannot do alone. It is always our first goal to keep families together whenever it is safe to do so and to reunify families as quickly as possible. Last year, we were able to support over 4,000 families by connecting parents to resources like crisis intervention, parenting skill classes, and counseling programs. Sometimes all a family needs is help catching up on a past due electric bill, a safe crib for their infant, or after-school care so the parent can go to work and their children are in a safe environment instead of home alone unsupervised. DCFS can and does help families like this every single day so their children can remain at home and the parents have the tools they need to be successful. And when we partner with community-based organizations like family advocacy centers, we can connect families to so many different services right in their neighborhood and avoid involvement with the child welfare system altogether. We also make every effort to reunify children and their families as quickly as possible, but sometimes that is not possible. In those cases, roughly 4% of the time, it is our goal to keep the child in their community and school, connected to their siblings, to their grandparents, extended family members, and other important people in their lives who they know, trust, and love through our fictive kin and guardianship programs. These programs are one of the greatest assets that we as a department can utilize and a key priority to our new director, Heidi Miller. These resources reduce trauma on the child, allow the child to stay with the person they already know, in a home they are already familiar with, and ideally connected to living in the community that they're already in. Every Illinoisan has a shared responsibility to do everything we can to ensure children grow up in a safe and loving home. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your continued work to do your part to make this community strong and our families healthy. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce the mayor of the city of Springfield, Misty Buscher. Misty?
Thank you to all of the speakers and for all of you for being here today.
Sorry, while I lay the proclamation down. In the city of Springfield, we truly feel that child abuse can be prevented through education, through resources given to those who feel the stress of what the speakers have talked about, whether it's bills, whether it's work, whether it's a crying baby that they don't know what to do with. Education is a true piece of this. And I was just talking to some of our friends here from HSHS explaining that my hope is that someday in high school, every student must take a class on learning how to just deal with their own emotions, because we could prevent so much child abuse by just educating those who are young teens. They're going to use that skill for the rest of their life on how to deal with their emotions, because that is a big piece of it. So today I'd like to read a proclamation. This is from the city of Springfield. The city of Springfield recognizes there are actions we can take as a society and within our communities and organizations to address the root causes of child abuse and neglect. And whereas National Child Abuse Prevention Month recognizes the crucial role that families and communities play in safeguarding the well-being of children. And whereas the collaboration between families, communities, and service providers is essential in preventing child abuse and neglect, thereby ensuring the safety and security of our children. And whereas prevention services and support systems developed through this collaboration empower parents, caregivers, and the communities to protect children and strengthen families, promoting resilience and healthy development. And whereas raising awareness about the signs of child abuse and neglect, as well as promoting identification and reporting, are fundamental steps in addressing this issue and providing support to those in need. Whereas in fiscal year 23 alone, there were over 230,000 calls made to the helpline, highlighting the urgent need for continued vigilance and action in all of our efforts to prevent and address child abuse and neglect. Now, therefore, I, Misty Buscher, Mayor of the City of Springfield, along with the Springfield City Council, do hereby proclaim that the month of April 2024 shall be Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. Furthermore, we encourage our community members to participate in annual Child Abuse Prevention Month kickoff, the event that you are all here at HSHS St. John's Hospital, and wherever you can come together and support that every child in Illinois will grow up safe, supported, and surrounded by love. This month, we ask for you as a community to play a role in that, making that real. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again for your participation in today's Child Abuse Prevention Month kickoff. At this time, we invite you to join us on the pavilion lawn to plant pinwheels. The blue pinwheel represents the great childhood that every child deserves and the role we each play in providing a loving and supportive environment and for the children in our lives. This is the national symbol for child abuse prevention. Following the pinwheel planting, we will have an opportunity for photo opportunities and media interviews. Thank you. If any